What's up? Happy Monday. It's time for another edition of 3 Point Stands presented by Mountain Dew. And this is one that you definitely want to listen to because we know what you guys want us to talk about. We're talking about the Oscars, but we're going to get to that a little bit later. So hold up. Let's talk about college basketball first. Final Four is set on the men's side of things. Roser, you got Duke, North Carolina, Villanova, Kansas. We're still waiting for the women.
Bloods.
But how do you feel about this whole Duke, North Carolina and how it's all played out? It's our first time we're going to see them take on each other. Final Four.
Yeah. So, okay. I grew up a Carolina fan. I love Carolina because Jordan, Vince Carter, Anton Jameson, Ed Cota, Jerry Stackhouse, Rasheed Wallace, I love North Carolina growing up, and they have the best uniforms in college, and I think all of sports, those Carolina Blues. But I will say, I do think, that win over Duke that they had in Cameron Indoor, I do think they will have problems this second time around. Basically, Carolina really has five guys. They've got five guys that they play that are good. And when they get into the bench, it's a little, as you saw from the Baylor game when Brady Manick got tossed and they had to go into their bench. And then I think Caleb Love fouled out in that game too, and they had to go deeper into their bench, and it was not the best looking Carolina team. So they've really got five guys, including Leaky Black, who all name team. There's no doubt about it. It's one of the best names in college basketball, along there with another Final Four guy, Remy Martin. Amazing name, plays for Kansas. Amazing names in this NCAA tournament. But Duke was asked, or Paolo Banchero was asked in the ACC tournament, who do they want? And he said Carolina. So they want this matchup. This is what Duke wants. I mean, I'm sure Carolina wants it. It's crazy they've never faced each other in the NCAA tournament. For all the success that Coach K, Roy Williams, Dean Smith, that they had there. Even Bill Guthridge made a Final Four when he took over for Dean Smith. It's crazy that they never faced each other in the tournament before, but I tend to think Duke will win. I will be pulling hard for Carolina. On the other side of things, Villanova losing the Moore kid that's tough. And it felt so bad for him. I felt so bad for him. I don't know if it was Miami ran out of gas. I think St. Peter's certainly ran out of gas against Carolina. I don't know if Miami ran out of gas. But
15 points in the second half. I mean, Kansas played great defense.
That second half from Kansas I watched that second half and I was like, whereas I got to turn it off early, but I was also like, during the thick of it, like, whoa, Kansas looks really, really good. And I did not realize this because obviously with the Grizzlies, we're keeping up with so much other stuff going on during the season. And main college basketball I watch is the Tigers. I did not realize that Bill Self lost his father in January. So I know the whole story is going to be Coach K in his final season, and can he win the championship in his final season? But there's another story there if Kansas. You've got Hubert Davis, a first-year head coach. If he can get it done, that'd be amazing. That's an amazing story. Jay Wright, if he wins his third national championship, this is his third or fourth Final Four since 2016. If he wins his third national championship in like 7 or 8 years or whatever it's been, that is super, super impressive. And then the Kansas thing, Bill Self, if he could win his second title and, with his father passing away in January, who was a coach and his mentor, I think that's I think we've got great stories in the men's final.
Yeah, there's so many great storylines. And for me, the Duke
storyline. Go Heels.
You're going for the Heels. I'm going to go for Duke.
Oh my God, no.
I had fallen off of Duke. I have a special connection to Duke. I worked there for a year. I did a post-grad thing there for a year. I was an SID for a year.
They didn't like you. They didn't like you.
They loved me.
No, they didn't. No.
His family is super nice. So I want it for him this year. I just it's too much for me to take in for it to be the Tar Heels. It's too much. I grew up a Tar Heels fan, just so crazy. I grew up a Tar Heels fan, but I got into a program. But I didn't get into a program there. I got
like Hulk Hogan.
I could not go. And then Duke won me over for a whole year. I was like, the people are great. The program is great. You know how it is. You start getting those paychecks, you start liking the people a little bit. So, you start liking the program.
Yeah, I got a buddy who grew up a big Chicago Cubs fan, and then he worked for the St. Louis Cardinals for a little bit and totally turned on the Cubs.
And you're like, right. So
they pay my check. They pay my bills.
Right. It's look, I'm all here for it, but I do think the biggest surprise when you look at the Final Four teams on the men's side, I think the biggest surprise is North Carolina.
Yeah.
That is shocking. I mean, I think unless you're a Tar Heels fan, like the way their season has gone, that's the team I would not have put in into the Final Four, and they have really figured some things out. They were super impressive against St. Peter's. I agree with you. St. Peter's just ran out of gas. Does not take away from their magical journey, their Cinderella story. It's been great to see them in the tournament.
Yeah.
Villanova, Kansas, they're powerhouses. They're, as you mentioned, Bill Self, Jay Wright, they've been here before. They've done it before. So here we are with so many super studs of coaches in the Final Four. I can't wait to see. Shout out to Neil Ivy. They lost in the Sweet 16. On the women's side of things, great game, Notre Dame versus North Carolina State. We still got 2 more games coming up tonight to figure out who's going on the women's side to the Final Four. But it's been jam-packed of just craziness basketball. And the Grizzlies was jam-packed last week of craziness of basketball as well. And when you look at what they did over the week, I mean, Rosa, we still got one more game to go tonight. Yeah. Warriors, call 901-88-HOOP if you want tickets. But I mean, they won these three games here at home. We found out that there's no John Moran. He'll be out for the next 2 weeks and he'll get reevaluated. But my goodness, how impressive has this team been? It's
been very impressive. I think the biggest thing has been DeAnthony Melton. Where are you got to find some, and Desmond Bain, the 3-point shot has really, really come back after he kind of went through a little slump there for about 10 to, maybe 15 games or something where it slumped up a little bit, except for a few games here and there. But it's been very impressive. And look, they look as good as anybody in the league right now. They do. They look like they could make the finals. Look, now things can change, and we'll see how it goes. And it appears Ja's going to be okay, and he should be ready by the time the playoffs start. But the depth that this team has, and I thought Steven Adams. Your question to Steven Adams, I thought that was amazing. That was great. A great job by you and Steven Adams. He doesn't do a ton of interviews. And it's a shame because when he does, he is
really talking to him.
Really good.
Oh my gosh.
He is very thoughtful with how he answers questions. And no, it's incredible what they're doing right now. And they can make the finals. They can. Things are gonna have to break right. You're gonna play a bunch of good teams, but they can do it.
What I love about this Grizzlies group, especially from what we've seen this week at home with these home games, they've stayed true to their identity, no matter who is in that rotation. All the guys kind of come together. They did it on national TV, and the whole world got to see it on Wednesday of how close this group is. Desmond Bain, DeAnthony Melton, Xavier Tillman Sr. coming off the bench and having an impressive game when it comes to attacking and getting those rebounds. This group is so special, and it is that depth that's been shining through. And
we got 2 minutes, Megan.
We got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. The Oscars, Roser.
Yes. All right.
The slap. Okay. The slap scene.
Moving with your auntie and uncle in
around the world.
Moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air. First of all, I mean, what the first thing you're trying to find out is if this is real or not. The second thing people are trying to say who is in the right, who is in the wrong. Okay, so I've had the full night to digest this, and this is where I come out on it. I'm not going to go with who's right and who's wrong. Personally, I mean, I do think Will Smith, you take the guy back. Will Smith was not upset about this at first. He was not upset until Jada was upset. Will Smith is laughing about it, and Jada does not have a laugh on her face. But I will say, Will Smith also won Best Actor last night. Mm-hmm. And it's a shame that's what nobody's going to remember from this Oscars.
And that's the part that hurt. I think that's the part that's heartbreaking. You're trying to figure, just I don't know I don't know what to do. I don't know how to take it all in because I didn't want it to be real. It's definitely real. I wouldn't have reacted that way. And yes, he was not mad at first, but when your woman is mad, that's all that means. That's what happened. But what it shows is it's been a rough couple months. That's my biggest thing. It's been a lot. And as you can tell in Will's acceptance speech, this has just been a lot for them.
They've had a lot of marital problems. They've had marital problems.
I'm gonna say they're public figures. They've been attacked and they've been criticized. It's just too much. But I was saying Oscars, and I was like,
as our guy Devin Walker said, how many times Chris Rock as a comedian has cracked big jokes on people. You know how many times that he's been slapped for him to just eat that? Mm-hmm. It's he just ate it and popped up like nothing.
I don't know how
Chris Rock got a strong jaw.
I just hope Denzel's they're doing something where they all gonna sit down at a table and talk. Not the red table, but a table and talk privately. But oh my goodness, what a week. That's all the time we have this session for 3 Point Stands presented by Mountain Dew.